We are dedicating this morning's show to the victims of Friday's shootings at Sandy Hook Elementary in Newtown, Connecticut. And we want to make an effort to introduce you to all of the victims. Now, unfortunately, in the media, a lot of times when crimes of this nature happen, the name or names of those responsible are all too often spread across the TV screen and remembered instead of the ones who were innocently robbed of their lives. So here on WNWO Today, we want to do something a little different, and instead of showing you photos and talking about the person who did this, we want to talk about the innocent victims, and we hope that you will remember their names. And I also want to let everybody know that a lot of this information that I got this morning while writing this came from a really great article on CNN. Okay, well, one of the 20 children killed in Friday's mass shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary was 6-year-old Emily Parker. Emily's father says that his daughter was an incredible, very loving little girl who always carried around her markers and her pencils so that she never missed an opportunity to draw a picture or make a card for those around her. He says that her card making was expressed beautifully just in October when she placed a card that she had made into the casket with her grandfather, who was also killed in a very tragic accident. Parker says that he had been teaching his daughter Portuguese and that their last conversation was Friday morning before school as he headed off to work. In Portuguese, she told him good morning and asked how he was doing. He said he was doing well, and she told him that she loved him. Parker says that he then gave Emily a kiss as he left for work.
This is the hard part of our jobs right here, that is for sure. Also killed was 6-year-old Charlotte Bacon. Her grandmother says Charlotte was sweet, outgoing, full of energy. She said her granddaughter loved school and dresses, and her hair was a mass of beautiful red curls.
6-year-old Olivia Engel's favorite stuffed animal was a lamb, and her favorite colors were pink and purple. Olivia's family posted a statement on Facebook with those and other details about their beloved daughter. I quote this: "She was very insightful for her age and had a great sense of humor. She laughed a lot and always lit up a room, including the people around her." Olivia took art and dance lessons, played tennis, soccer, and swam, and she was also involved in Girl Scouts and musical theater. Her family says she loved school and did very well in math and reading. Olivia also led grace every night at her family's dinner table.
6-year-old Dylan Hockley's grandmother said to know him was to love him. Dylan loved video games, jumping on his trampoline, watching movies, and munching garlic bread. She said he had dimples, blue eyes, and the most mischievous grin. She said her daughter and son-in-law moved to Connecticut from England and chose to live where they did simply because of the schools.
Jesse Lewis was 6 also and loved math, riding horses, and playing at his mother's farm. This is what his father told the New York Post. He told the newspaper that his son was to make gingerbread houses at school on Friday, and he was planning to help, but instead, the last time that he saw his son was when he dropped him off at school at 9 a.m.
Grace McDonnell was 7 and was the ultimate girly girl. Gracie loved wearing pink and playing dress up with her jewelry. Her grandmother just said she loved art, gymnastics, soccer, and her small spaniel named Puddin'.
Beautiful little girl. 6-year-old Jessica Rekos loved everything about horses. In fact, she asked Santa this year for new cowgirl boots and a cowgirl hat. Her family had promised her as well that she would get her own horse when she turned 10. She was a creative, beautiful little girl, her family said in a statement, describing her as their rock. Her father called her the little CEO for the way that she carefully thought out and planned everything.
6-year-old Jack Pinto will be laid to rest today. He was a huge Giants fan and idolized wide receiver Victor Cruz. Yesterday at the Giants game, Cruz honored his memory by writing messages on his cleats and gloves about Jack. He reached out to Jack's family as well, and his family said that Jack might be buried in his beloved Cruz jersey that he wore whenever he watched the Giants play. Also, Cruz plans to visit with Jack's family later this week.
Also being laid to rest today is 6-year-old Noah Pozner. He had a huge heart and he was so much fun, a little bit rambunctious, but lots of spirit, his aunt told CNN. He loved playing with his cousins and siblings, especially his twin sister. She says he was a gorgeous boy and he could really get whatever he wanted just by batting those long eyelashes and looking at you with his big blue eyes. More children killed in Friday's senseless shooting. Daniel Barden, Rachel Diavino, Josephine Gray, Madeline Sue, Catherine Hubbard, Chase Kowalski.
And Anna Marquez Green, James Mattioli, Carolyn Praviti, Avielle Richmond, Benjamin Wheeler, and Allison N. Wyatt.
And finally, we want to take a moment to remember the 6 adults who were killed in this senseless tragedy. Their stories of trying to shield children from bullets and making very heroic efforts that day to save lives are certainly how they will be remembered. And they are Dawn Lafferty Hawksprung, Anne Marie Murphy, Lauren Rousseau, Mary Sherlock, and Victoria Soto, and Nancy Lanza, the mother of the shooter. She was killed at her home before he then went to the school. Wow. I don't think I've ever had as hard a transition as it is to make on a show into this next segment, but we do obviously have to move on. But we certainly hope that that tribute meant something to you and was kind of just a different take on, you know, not putting the photo and talking about the shooter. I think it's important to talk about these people instead.